right, we're ready to begin with Texas A&M with Coach Williams along with Wade Taylor and Henry Coleman. We'll ask Coach for some general thoughts on the game, then we'll take your questions just for the two student athletes, excuse them, and then finish up with Coach. So, Coach, would you begin?
Congratulations to Tennessee, Coach Barnes, his staff, his team, their administration on winning the SEC tournament championship. Very deserving. They beat us from start to finish. We had no answers for their tactical decisions nor their talent, and they're more than deserving of what transpired over the last 2 hours.
Question for either of the student athletes. Raise your hand and we'll get a floor microphone to you. Hands up. Okay, let's start at front row.
Henry, y'all done pretty well in this tournament, dealing with your opponent's superior size. Why do you think y'all might have had more difficulty against Tennessee's size today?
Well, I think it was an overall effort from our team from the defensive standpoint and rebounding. We were a little bit out of position, but I think in the second half we did a pretty good job of, trying to hit some of their big guys, and I thought our guards in the second half helped us on the boards to get a lot of those rebounds. And then guys like Aaron Cash, Ethan Henderson really came in and, kind of brought us that energy that we needed to try to get some of those rebounds.
Raise your hand if you have other questions for either of the student athletes. Question in the back.
For both of them, Wade first. Not whether fatigue was a factor, but just having to play 4 games in a row. How hard was that?
I wouldn't say it was hard. I mean, of course, it did a lot on our legs, but we prepared for that. Going back to when we first started in August. Going through boot camp, individuals, long practices prepared us for this. So playing those 4 games, was just another hump we had to get over. And I feel like we handled it pretty well.
That's same for Henry.
Forrest said it perfectly. I don't think there's anything that, he said anything wrong. We prepared for it. So it's something that we prepared for and we're ready for.
Other questions for either student athletes? Raise your hand. All right, far left.
I guess the next few hours a little bit on pins and needles, waiting to see what happens with the show tonight.
Question was for who?
I'll go with Henry and then Wade.
To play in the greatest tournament in the country is something that, every kid dreams of, shooting in the driveway and stuff. So it'd be a blessing for us to be in that tournament. But I think, even if we're not, we'll still handle it the right way. There's a lot of love on this team, and, I care a lot for these guys, so we'll handle it the right way.
Wade?
I totally what Henry said, about our response. Of course we want to be in it, and, we feel like we play hard and worked hard enough to be in it, so we're just going to, hope for the best, and whatever happens, we're going to handle it the right way.
All right, let's go to the back middle.
Henry, the bracketologists have you guys getting a bid. If it comes to pass, what do you think you guys can do in the NCAA?
I think we'll take it one game at a time, just like we've done all season. We're not looking ahead. We're focused on what's right now, what's right in front of us, what we can see. So we'll focus on, that first game. We'll focus a lot on us, too. I think we're a good team. I think a talented team. We play our best with high energy and a lot of effort. We're a really tough team to beat.
Other question? Raise your hand. Got time for maybe one more? Anyone? All right, we'll excuse the student athletes. You can return to the locker room. Thank you. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach Williams. So raise your hand, and we'll get a floor microphone to you. All right, start on the right.
Yeah, Buzz, wonder what in your past, if anything, I'm not much comparable to losing 8 in a row, sort of helped you figure out what to say or do or guide those guys through and out of 8 L's in a row. I know that has to be mentally taxing on all those guys.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. This is my 28th year as a college coach, and it had never happened. And so I would say that our response, the first game that we lost, we were 15-2, 4-0. It was the largest crowd in Reed Arena history. We made 1-3 against Kentucky and lost by 6. I think the next game we played at Arkansas, we were down 20-4 and ended up losing in overtime by 3. In those 8 games, included at Tennessee. In those 8 games, 4 of those 8 games were 1 or 2 possession games. 7:41 to play at Knoxville, and it was a 3-point game. I think we ended up losing by 10. I don't know that there's a specific answer on what is the right way to handle an 8-game losing streak. No, if there is, I haven't read the book on it. What I tried to do was just tell our guys the truth. After the 8th loss, it was at Auburn, College game day. They were number 1 in the country. I think we lost 17 that game. That was the largest margin of defeat this season. What we did, anytime we take a day off, we start the next day early, and we call it early bird. So when the game at Auburn was an early start, and so we got home earlier than normal for a weekend road game. And our staff, we stayed up through the evening into the morning, and we studied what transpired during the first 4 wins, what transpired during the 8 losses, and what would be the differences between the two, and then how can we present it in the lowest common denominator to our team in a way that they could understand. So we came up with 4 categories, showed it to them numerically, showed it to them on the screen as far as the clips. This is what we have to concentrate on. This is what we've distilled as the difference between winning and losing. And then this is how our practice itineraries are going to change so that we can spend more time on the things that we know helped us win. And our guys throughout the 8 games received all of the teaching and coaching. But from that point, I think we've lost 1 game since. I think that's right. Oh, I guess today would be 2, right? So I think we've won 7 out of 9 since then. And it's just their response to all of that, and then all of the work the staff did to get to that point. That's why, even though it wasn't fun, it's been an incredible learning experience. I mean, just that's, I think 4 was here for the first time today. So I think there's been half of our scholarship players have been up here over the last 4 days. And you can tell even in how they articulate the answers to the questions, there's residue of all of those lessons from the month that we lost.
All right, next question on the back.
I don't want to steal your question, but I'm going to follow up on it. Coach, in the last 48 hours, you beat the number 4 team and the number 15 in the country, and after the first 4 minutes, you played the number 9 team in the country straight up. How do you go to the committee and say, we should be in?
Yeah. I'm not sure how you earn the selection to the NCAA committee. Do you know that process? And that's why I try not to partake in conversations that I don't understand the whole process. Like, I understand there's a committee. And so my question at the foundation is, how do you get invited to the committee? And then, is there a transparent way, not on the internet, that we as coaches who are responsible for these families, that we can articulate, this is how you do it? And you see, like, as each day in March passes, how the opinion of others that are not on the committee seem to overwhelm the world. And so I try not to get into that, because I feel like my responsibility is to the children and the families they represent. And so I don't know, to be honest. I don't know, is it good enough? Should it happen? I do think this numerically is the best league. Maybe it's 1B numerically. I do study the numbers. I'm slightly more intelligent maybe than I come across. I know what the numbers are, and I do think that how the last 3.5 weeks have transpired for us, I would think for sure has to help our resume. Is it good enough? I don't know.
Raise your hand. Other questions? Come back to the front row.
Yeah, Buzz, y'all been shooting from three-point range so well since you've been here.
Mm-hmm.
Today you had an off day. Do you write that off as an off day, or were there, what factors do you think were involved in that shooting under what y'all been doing?
Yeah, I would say maybe it's what is the word that you say, regress to the mean. We've probably shot it better in Tampa because our guys like Florida, I guess, and then today it just kind of regressed back. I also think, Olin, that numerically Tennessee has the 7th best defense in the country, and so I always want to make sure that I give credit to the players and to the opponent and their staff. They are as good as they are offensively, defensively, numerically, they're even better.
Raise your hand. Other questions for Coach Williams? Any others? Last call. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.